All right, so we've been traveling now for just about 5 weeks. Can you believe it?
Seems insane.
I can't even believe that it's been 5 weeks since we hit the road. Seems like just yesterday we were counting down the days until we were leaving.
Yeah.
So right now we are in El Paso, Texas, visiting
Kyle.
Paul's son.
Yep.
We're very excited to be here, although it is a little chilly right now.
Yeah.
But we wanted to share with you the top 10 things that we've learned through the past 5 weeks of traveling.
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yes.
And we're sharing these in no particular order.
Yeah.
They're just as we came up with. Oh, I would also like to caveat, a lot of these things we kind of maybe already knew, but we didn't like experience them yet. We were
Right.
guessing at them. But now we have confirmed
Yes.
all of these
We have
things.
real world
real
proof.
world, real life experience
experience.
with all of these things. So the first one is that driving separately,
Ooh,
not
terrible.
fun. We did not enjoy driving separately. So we didn't end up selling my car before we left Washington. So we needed to drive it down to Albuquerque where we had a buyer lined up. So we weren't really looking forward to that, but at the same time it needed to be done. So we had to do what we had to do.
We couldn't just leave the car in Washington, and
No.
we didn't want to leave it there for a few years. Who knows when we're going to come back?
Yeah.
We needed somebody to watch it and drive it.
Or
every
pay to
few-
have it stored,
Yeah.
and we just didn't want to do really any of that.
Yeah.
So
Our
we
intent was to
decided-
sell it.
Yeah, and we decided just to bite the bullet and drive separately from Washington to New Mexico. We did, and we did confirm it's not fun. It's very hard to, even though we had walkie-talkies, it's very hard to communicate between the two drivers. And, you know, Paul was in the lead, and if he needed to look up somewhere to go, that was very difficult for him to do. Plus, you just don't have each other's company.
Yeah.
So
That's the biggest part.
Yeah.
Not having somebody next to you while you're driving around, looking at all the things, seeing stuff. I wanted to constantly talk to her and say, "Hey, look at that! Look at this over here!" And it's just it was terrible.
So if you have an opportunity not to drive separately, to drive in the same car, we say, take it.
Yes.
All right, what's the second thing we learned?
Harvest Hosts are amazing. We are huge fans of Harvest Host. That was one of the first places we stopped, and it was a godsend. It's way better than we haven't really stopped at a Walmart or a Cabela's
Not
or
yet.
anything like that. But I can figure out how it's going to be, and this is just way better.
Way
So
better.
If you have an opportunity, it's like $75 a year. It
And
might
you
be
can
a
get
little
a
more now.
discount
Oh yeah.
with our link below.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's 10% discount, 5%
I think it's
discount.
15.
15%
Yeah.
discount.
Woo!
So it's worth it. It's worth
Totally
the
worth
yearly, and the website's great. The people
It's easy
we
to
haven't.
find the
We've
locations.
been to what, 3 now?
We've been to 3 on our trip so far. Had great experiences at all of them.
All 3 have been fantastic.
So definitely, we thought that Harvest Host was going to be amazing. We have definitely confirmed
Confirmed.
Harvest Host is awesome.
Yes.
All right, what's our third thing?
Don't travel too fast. Go slow.
Yes.
I would say if for us, traveling more than 3 days was
In a row.
exhausting.
Yeah.
In a row, yeah. We went from Washington through Oregon to California in 3 days, and it was exhausting. It's
Totally
not recommended.
exhausting. Yeah.
So if you can plan your route out where you can do a couple days of travel to get somewhere and then stay there for a week, do that. That's much.
Or at least a
better.
full day of rest or a couple days of rest
Yeah.
before you start traveling again. No, that's not always an option,
Sure.
depending on, your travel style. But we've really discovered that traveling for more than, if it's a 4-hour drive, it's probably going to take you around 5 to 5.5 hours total time. So depending on your style, and, we have dogs and all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
plus we were traveling separately for most of that, which is more exhausting. So I'll be interested to see how it changes, if
Sure.
it changes, now that we're traveling in the same car together, and if we find that we can do longer drives or not. But for the most part, we're feeling like we want to go a couple of days max before we spend a good chunk of time in one location, kind of recovering, getting work done,
Yeah.
and just mostly recovering.
Yeah.
Because travel days are exhausting.
Yeah, and everywhere we've gone, even if it's a short trip, has been we found something that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Something neat, something interesting. So don't even. I guess what I'm saying is, if you go somewhere and it's not like ideal, like, oh, I have to go through California, but I don't want to stay in like Redding, you're gonna find some really cool place. We did that actually. We stopped in Redding at a campsite, and it was one of the best campsites we've been to. I didn't really have any expectations. I was a one-night stay. I thought it was going to be kind of boring and whatever, but it turned out great. It was a neat little campsite. We might actually have to get back to that same campsite.
It was like right on the river, and
yeah,
it was lovely.
A little smoky during that time.
It was a little smoky,
but we weren't expecting any smoke in January. There you go. So.
But ultimately, just to say that if you can go slow, it's probably better for your mental capacities. And just in general, traveling is exhausting, so take it slow. Yep. Okay, what's the next thing?
Number 4 would be it's okay to skip places. Okay. And I guess what we mean by that is,
there's a lot.
There's a lot to see.
There's a lot to see. Like, even just driving through random nowhere, there's a lot to see.
Yeah. You can probably look up 20 different things for every town you're going to stay at and look at and be like, there's 20 things I want to get here. You're just not going to have the time for that kind of stuff. I guess quality over quantity is key. And I've heard that from a lot of other travelers as well. Making sure that you're just taking the time to enjoy the places you're going to be and not worry about, going places and seeing everything. Like Yosemite. It's a great example. Yosemite, you could spend a week there, easy. We were there for
1 day,
5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to us. We got the bus tour. We saw a little bit of this stuff here and there. But, I mean, it was a great experience. We got to see the sights and still, capture kind of what Yosemite is. We didn't get to stay there, unfortunately, but we will. We're gonna go back to it at some point. But now we kind of have an idea of what it looks like, what it sounds like, and next time we go there, it'll be a much better experience.
Yeah. So don't get too frustrated if you're driving by places and you just don't have time to stop at all the different places that are along potentially your route. Like, we bypassed San Diego, we have friends there. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that we didn't get to do in California because we had other places to be. So plan your route by where you need to be and what's the highest priority. Dogs are going crazy. And just remember that everywhere you go, you're going to make great memories. But you can't go everywhere.
Right.
Even though that's what we're kind of trying to do.
Yes.
Okay, 5th thing. We're halfway through.
Even if the weather isn't great, go anyway.
Yes. Even right now, the weather is really cold, but we are doing this anyway.
We did not expect the weather to be this freezing in southern Texas.
It's very cold in El Paso.
Well,
right
I guess
now.
we're not. We're southern New Mexico.
Yeah, we're like mid-Texas.
El Paso.
Regardless.
Yes.
If you go somewhere and you planned a trip to be there and the weather is not ideal, now this doesn't count like horrible weather that you should not be out around in.
Don't go to Alaska if it's in the end of September.
In the winter, or if it's if there's supposed to be like some sort of tornado or something, don't go. But we went to White Sands National Park. It was a really windy day, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't super fun to be in one of the sandiest places on earth with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. But we still went, and we're glad that we went because we were able to see it. We didn't have another opportunity to go. And even though it did affect our trip, it didn't ruin our trip. So I would definitely say if the weather is not going to be ideal, still go do what you're planning to do. You're probably still going to have a good time, and you'll get to see what you wanted to see and make memories while you were there.
Yeah, just like Yosemite, we thought the weather was going to be terrible.
We did.
And so we were like, well, let's just go anyway. We're gonna try it out. We got on the road, and it's about maybe an hour and a half from our campsite, and it just became a really beautiful day. It was a little chilly, but overall, it was a fantastic day.
It was a little cold, but it was wonderful.
We took a chance, and it paid off for us.
Paid off, yeah. So definitely still go do the things you're planning to do.
Yes.
Cool. All right, number 6.
Number 6. Don't get distracted during pack up and shut down.
Set up and pack up, whatever you want to call it.
That means when you get to a place, especially when you have people you're meeting, family, friends, you're going to come to their area, they're going to come see you. Make sure you give yourself at least a half an hour to 45 minutes, however long it takes you to set up your campsite. to set up first. Nothing worse than getting somebody injured or destroying something like
just from a simple mistake
bending your
because
jacks,
you're
doing
distracted.
something dumb.
Yeah.
We when we got to Albuquerque, that was exactly the case. We got there, and there was just a slew of people that wanted to come and see inside the camper and see what was going on. And I got distracted, and it could have been a lot worse. It only dropped a few inches, but it could have made contact with the truck. It could have bent one of the landing legs. Somebody could have been hurt inside because it did shift a little. And Cinnamon was inside when that happened.
It was very scary.
And the whole entire coach jarred, and
Sure.
somebody could have fallen over if somebody was, an elderly person was in there that has a little stability issues. They could have fallen over. So
Safety first.
Safety first.
Just it may feel rude to tell people, look, can you give me a few minutes? I just need to get this set up. Or just have your conversation and then say, okay, I'm going to go set up the camper now, or whatever. Or you could even, use each other. Like I had a moment where I had to tell my mom, hey, we need a few minutes by ourselves so that we can get this all done. Then we'll come inside and chat with you.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like for you, we just encourage you to do those things because it can be very difficult when there's a lot of people around and there's different conversations happening and people aren't understanding the process that you need to go through, but you understand the process that you need to go through. So take care of that first and then go have your fun.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Making sure there's no distractions.
Yes. All right, number 7.
Number 7. Communication is key. Don't make assumptions. You're in, I guess, for full-time living, we're in close proximity to each other all the time. We're constantly around each other. Very just
like right now. We're super close.
There is no air gap right now.
This is a very different lifestyle than when you're just living in the sticks and bricks and you have your own places to go in your house and you have your own activities that you're doing.
And we don't even have kids to
your own interests.
Add to that.
Right. Exactly. So it's a different, things will change. How you communicate with each other will changes. I find that we're pretty good at communicating anyway, but now we're challenged to communicate even more because we're having to make decisions all day, every day about different things. We have differing opinions on things. We have to talk through those things, and tensions can flare, and you can make if you make assumptions about what the other person wants to do or doesn't want to do or who's supposed to be doing what, that could cause a lot of problems. So just make sure that you are really communicating what you need, what your expectations are, how you can work on this together. I know this has been said before, I didn't make this up, but it's not you versus me, it's you and me versus the problem.
There you go.
There's a problem, and the two of you, or the three of you, or four, however many of you are traveling together, need to approach and tackle that problem together as a team, as opposed to working against each other.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by communication. Okay, so that leads us to number 8. Very important.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. We're doing it right now.
We're doing it right now.
Document your trip.
Document.
Whether that means you're keeping a journal, if you're a writer, if you love to just take video of stuff, but putting date and timestamps on everything, that's key. Because we've been doing this for like 5 weeks, and we've looked back on some videos and some things we've captured at the very beginning, and I've already forgot those things. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize we did this, and this, and it's just been a really big eye-opener for me.
Yeah, I think it's just a really important thing just to document your life in whatever way feels good to you. We're doing blog posts, and we have a website, and then we have these YouTube videos, which we love doing. It does take a lot of work. Keep in mind that depending on how you want to document it might take some work. Yeah. But it is really, really important, and this is something that I've done pretty much my whole life. You document things, you just remember them more. You just do. And so this is a very memorable experience going on, this cross-country journey and living on the road, and we don't want to forget those things. So the camera battery died, so we're not sure where we ended. We probably look very different. But we went through documenting your trip and how that's really important. So we definitely think that is a priority. Okay, so the last two are kind of related to each other.
Sort of, yeah.
So what's number 8?
Number 8? 9.
9, sorry.
So number 9 is being flexible. So get up in the morning and do one of these, side bender like this, and definitely to the back.
You never know what you're going to get with us. That was totally improv. But being flexible,
Oh my gosh.
super important, because things will go wrong.
Yep.
Which kind of leads us into the last thing. We can
Yeah.
talk about them kind of together.
Yeah, expect the unexpected. That's number
Yes.
10. So being flexible, expecting, you know, Marvin, gosh.
Like dogs barking. Things are going to go wrong.
Yeah.
They just
And they're
are.
going to go right. They're going to be
They're gonna be
unexpected
amazing.
things that are going to be amazing. So a lot of these are going to tie into each other by having enough time to do things.
So a good example of this happening is our original plan was to come into Albuquerque and stay for a couple of weeks. And during that time, we were going to be registering the truck
Right.
and the RV in New Mexico because of various reasons. So we have done this before, and usually it's a pretty simple process. The bank sends the title to the DMV, and we can get everything done. This time, however, for some reason, that was not working. The titles were electronically somewhere else, and they needed to be mailed physically. All these different things came up that we were not expecting. And so we were originally planning to leave Albuquerque on a Monday, and then the titles had not come. So then we thought they would be arriving on Monday. So then we moved our departure date to Wednesday. The title still didn't show up. And so then we had to move our departure date to Friday, which kind of readjusted a lot of our plans. But at the same time, we were being flexible, and we wanted to get down to El Paso, but we didn't have a hard date when we had to be down here.
Yeah.
And so even though we didn't really want to stay in Albuquerque for an additional week, we did, because we were able to be flexible, and we were able to kind of just go with the flow when these things weren't happening the way that we originally thought they were supposed to. You know, you have to understand that this lifestyle is somewhat unpredictable. You know, you might have maintenance issues, you might have just sickness issues. Who knows what might come up while you're traveling around.
Yeah. The moments where you're going to need to be flexible and do things just kind of sporadically.
Yeah.
And if that's not really your wheelhouse, to be like, just do things on the fly.
So you might want to stay places longer then.
That's
an
probably
option.
a good idea. Yeah. Stay
You know,
places longer.
stay places for like a month at a time.
Mhm.
You know, travel a lot slower. Still lots to learn. We feel like we've learned a ton in these past 5 weeks. But it's been amazing to learn all these things. And I can't wait to see what else we learn. All right, so that's it for this video. 10 things we learned in 5 weeks of travel. And we hope that you stick around. We've got lots more fun videos to come, especially in the next few weeks. We're going to be traveling all through Texas.
Yes.
It's going to be super exciting.
Very excited.
And hopefully it's going to be a lot warmer, because it's really cold right now.
Yeah.
So we are going to go, but if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button anytime you possibly can. It definitely helps us out.
Yes.
And if you want to get notified when we get new videos out, just hit the notification bell as well. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Let's go inside because it's freezing. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, Marv. Just make yourself comfy.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Marvin.
We finished attaching the tethers.
That's
to the
adorable.
line. It's 214 meters long, and I'll have the MMU, so moving around.
I'll be fine. Hi,
Oh, jeez.
my name is Paul. I've got you.
Stop it.
I don't know what to do in front of a camera.
Are you sure?
You should stop complaining. Hey, that's my nipple. Alright, we don't have our script.
I have it right
Oh,
here.
look at you.
It's not a script. It's just...
Notes.
No. Okay, let's get this over with.
Okay.
All right, we have been traveling for
7 days now?
7 days.
Oh,
No.
you meant to hear.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
No, we have been. Oh my gosh, that's so
This may not be the best location.